package your mouth. Don't just package your mouth, package yourself. That word will never leave my opolo.
All right, thank you. It will never leave my opolo. Let me quickly appreciate the presence of our DJ. Thank you, Mr. DJ Crown Plus. Share the phone, share the selling. Ìlú àwọn oṣù Kọ́lá wa àdéhùn bóyá àwọn tó wà lórí àtẹ̀tẹ̀ máa gbó káàdì bóyá kan sẹ̀ àbí. Alright, so you were telling me that package yourself, and that's why it was just about 2-3 minutes interaction with him, and I can tell you categorically that word has changed everything about my orientation, everything about my perspective of looking for job. So I'm not going for interview with the mindset of taking condom. I'm going because I want to win. You don't understand? So now it now occurred to me that many of us, there are some things that we encounter when we go for interviews. We are talking about where is your value. There are some things that we encounter when we go for interviews. There are some challenges, there are some difficulties, there are some questions, there are some things, that probably challenges our personality, or some people, you get to a place, they tell you, look at the way you are dressed. Does my dressing really has to do with me going for interview? If you are inviting me to work in a bar, for instance, do I need to dress the way this MC is dressing?
These are one of those things that I want us to share. Let us just interact. I'll do an second-class citizen. We want to program, share them as well. But as far as you are here, it means that you came here early, right? So I'm going to use that for you today, and you shall have your own testimony. All right, so I need people that will volunteer. Sincerely, I discussed with Engineer Gamdele yesterday that those that will be having interaction here today, that I want us to have a special, what do you call it? A special, but please, if you have something to say, feel free. Feel free. One of those things that affect us as youth is we are how do I put it? We are so complacent. Sorry, can you do this? Well, maybe especially sorry, I'm very sorry. Okay, don't let me say that. And bias. Some gender. Especially when you have gone for about 3, 4, 5 interviews, you don't be like that. See, it is wrong of you letting your employer or prospective employer see you that you are desperate. It is very, very wrong. They see that, you are desperate. Your worth might be 100,000, they might value you at 30,000 because you are desperate. You don't understand. So when you walk into any environment, you walk in majestic, and even your walking self, security will ask you, okay, sorry, what do you want to see? I cannot walk in an organization the way I'm dressed now. Security will not ask me who you want to see. I will tell you, I can fire you. Are we together? All right, so I want to hear from us, and I really want us to speak to the microphone. Okay. Because everything was, in fact, yesterday, the car, everything was reflected. I told you I was there yesterday. So let me hear from us. Let's talk. What are those challenges that you face? Personally, I want us to speak from personal experience. We are bringing up the program in my local church next month. It's called Reality Sunday, where you invite people. It's not going to be, you tell us your story first. So if it is something that you want us to show your face, we show your face. You don't want us to see your face, record your voice, and then play it. There are some steps that you have taken in life that you like. Remember, my brother had accident. You know, he said what he went through, that he never prayed it for his enemy. His enemy. He was on the spot for 3 months. He could not move, could not do anything. If you want to, pass some things out, you have to lift him up a bit, then goes down after it's done. For 3 months, it was like that. So the glory of God is very, very okay. Now, he got married some months ago. So let me hear from you. Everybody speaking first. First, what are the challenges that you have probably faced? Have you been harassed? No, you can be harassed as interview. When you are going for interview, does not mean that everything when it's last, you just say, yes, sir, no. How do you speak? When you are harassed, how do you know? Have you been harassed at interview? Ladies, especially. Ladies, let's talk now. I mean, you think you are not here to carry the graduates. Don't just. All right, please, God bless you. Please thank you about celebrate that. Can I get my pen? Get me pen.
I want to first of all thank the organizers of this program. I think that this is really lovely for the first time and it's really something to be commended. Thank you very much for organizing this. And one of the experiences I had, one of my experiences was when I went for an interview. I want to also thank the people that came out early, the organizers. We actually were invited for an interview scheduled for 8 a.m. And we went in there and we started till about after 12. They were still running around, they were still, they were just coming in intermittently and they go, give us some time, we're organizing something close. The person we're expecting is not here. And we were sweating. Some people that had to start to get up, go remove their suits, sit in their shirts. And some people started moving on, looking for something to eat. It became kind of uncomfortable for us. And at some point, we could not wait again. Some people started going, but in the end, they still held the interview. That was, I think, about 11:30 or thereabouts. Some minutes to 12. So,
In the night.
From 8 o'clock. From 8 o'clock. In the afternoon. So by the time they came in, some people were already gone, some were already exhausted, and they didn't even follow the normal trend. They said they were going to. They just came in, okay, you just kind of, what do you want to, where do you think you can function? And all of that. They told them some other people that came in disorganized, and even they themselves were not organized. So if they are organizing themselves, it has also helped us to stay organized and focused and even more expectant.
Please put your hands together for us. Joseph. Joseph. All right, sorry, I'll get back to you, sir. Okay. I remember when I finished secondary school, to the glory of God, I started fending for myself since 2007. My parents were still alive then, but today I can confidently recite our Father who art in heaven. But then they were very much around. But I was just kind of pressing that I don't like, I need this and I get something, I believe in it. And it's actually a sign of pride. It's a sign that you are proud. If you are not careful, that's the negative side. That you just believe that anything I will let me get it by myself. It's a sign that you are proud. Someone told me that today you are proud. And that word, it sticks to my brain. So if you maximize that is a potential, but it could lead to other things. So if you can maximize it very well, you can live above it. So it was actually a sign that you are proud. So we went for one interview. They're just telling us, see, within 2 months. So I've heard that before. Maybe most of us have that this man resigned. He was as regional bank manager. He resigned to come and join this company. This guy was a marketing manager for one company. He resigned to pick this job within 6 months. If you are this, if you are that, you have been that victim. I've been a victim of that. My wife there. Let them see. Let them see you. That's my wife. She went from one all the way from Lagos to Abeokuta. I was telling her, please, so it is important that let's track this environment so that I cannot start looking for wife again. You know. So, but to cut the long story short, they motivated us. You know something like managers, react, double your react, triple your react, You know, I was like, take the teach later, man. And fortunately, I met a friend of mine there. We finished secondary school together, and I called his brother. Wow, I really like. So to cut the long story short, they gave us products to market. They said, you will market these products, you make sales, you make this, and blah 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 blah. So I collected the products, started marketing. You know, I work out. You know about it very well. I tried from you know Channel, New Garage very well. New Garage Ibadan. I tried from New Garage to Channel. You know, looking for buyer. You know, not knowing that these people are just fooling us. But that is what a man that is desperate. That is what being desperate will offer you. I tell you the truth, if I go for an interview and they delay me for 2 hours, I'll walk away. 2 hours maximum. 2 hours. Nobody is coming to tell you the reason why you are being delayed. Nobody did that. Did they offer you any refreshment? That's an abuse. An abuse of your personality. The fact that you are looking for a job does not make you unfortunate. That's the truth. That you are looking for a job, that you are not engaged now, does not make you unfortunate. That's the truth. You know, let's hear from someone else. I'm coming. That's a G. Jimasu. Oh yeah. God bless you, sir. You look like my father. Are you sure my father did not come back?
All right. Outside. Okay, you are people outside. God bless you. We are commencing the program very, very. I can tell you that you are the most recognized personalities here today. If you are outside and you can hear me, please celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. You are the very, very special VIP for this program today. We love you, we celebrate you. I'll be coming out to say hello to you once in a while because this place where is outside is better than this place, I can tell you. If you are outside, you are getting the best location. Believe me. All right, let's go. What do you have to say, sir? Okay, so for those outside, what we are checking right now is, you've been to many interviews and your experience, what you've been through, your experiences are just different interview. And I've said it here that because the fact that you are looking for a job does not make you unfortunate. So I want to hear from someone who is going to tell us one of those things that one of his experiences while looking for a job or while going to and fro to search for a job. All right, sir, over to you, sir.
Hello? Okay. My name is David Chopper. What the lady said just reminded me of those things that happened back then. Because when she said eventually they had the interview around 11 a.m., I was just happy. Because I've had the experience of having seen that we had around 5 p.m. So you can imagine, when you arrived for the interview, you were told to come around 10 a.m. And as usual, for you to be timely, show respect to people you want to commit with, you have to be there much more earlier. So we are talking of you getting to a place where you want to have an interview, and you are there as early as, say, after 8, and you were seated till around 11, 12, nobody is coming, and later on they came in, we are still coming to attend to you later on, and eventually it came to my around some minutes to 6. So what are we talking of here? Patience. And always being ready at every time. That even those that are planning behind, they are not angels. So you coming as an employee, going to an employer, the employer is not an angel. And you also wish to be in the same point. So it's correct, this says yes. didn't plan well, but eventually
the chairman of this great engineering firm, the chairman of all the engineers in Ikeja. If you are an engineer in Lagos and you are not under his chairmanship, then you are wrong. Because we trust, you know, definitely very, very soon it's going to be the national
program that we have put in place to ensure that we can actually bring senior, linking them up with the young ones. And we have situations where one mentor is actually attached to upward of 5, and I can even remember someone actually took up 10 mentees to ensure that indeed we can help them, develop. So it is not a situation where you just come out of school and then you are left to be on your own, as it were. So that is one key thing that we are committed, ourselves to. Thank you so very much. I would want at this point to, pause before I conclude on the opening remarks, because joining us now is the second highest engineer in Nigeria. That is the person of the Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Indeed, the first woman to assume that position in the 61-year history of the Nigerian Society. So it's my pleasure to introduce to us Engineer Margaret Aino Okunsala, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you so very much, man. I was just telling them before now that the president was unavoidably absent, so now we have, the representative of the president with us. And also let me indeed recognize the presence of a foremost professional in the media who also walked in as I was delivering the opening remarks. My pleasure to recognize and introduce to us our Mama, Mrs. Bimbo Odoyede. So those of you who are familiar with Channels TV, in those days you will remember that face. So thank you so very much. So like I had said, it's indeed a veritable platform for the young ones to engage, with the employers and be able to understand what the employers look out for. And like we have said, we are giving guarantee to the employers of labor as well, that we are not just giving you, so to speak, half-baked engineering graduates. We are also making efforts, at our own level. And that was why I spoke about the mentorship scheme, that we have actually put in place. And in the course of this event, we will be launching the 2022 cohort of the mentorship scheme to ensure that indeed our young ones can rely on the experience, the expertise of the more senior engineers in being able to guide them in career development. Finally, it is indeed to us that before we leave this place, we will have success stories of people who are indeed able to secure employment right from this sphere. That is actually our expectation. And indeed, that was why we encourage many of us to come Andy, we are going to come and come having our CVs Andy, that we are indeed there with our curriculum with our head. So in the course of the event, we'll have an opportunity for live interviews to take place. As a matter of fact, we will also, as part of the event, be reviewing CVs to ensure that you are not just putting forward what will only be good for the first pay. Many times when your CVs come in, the presentation also matters. And we have seen situations where even those who are qualified but are unable to present themselves well with the resume, are unable to even have the interview. So indeed, in all, we look forward to this event serving the purpose for which it was put in place, which is for the employers to actually have access to the best of prospective employees, and of course for the job seekers to also have the opportunity of having engagement with the employers. The last thing I want to mention is the fact that in the course of the engagement with the job desk committee, we actually went on to put up a portal that we call the Engineering Resource Portal, which is a platform for employers who are looking out for engineers, to engage, to actually assess the best of them. So that portal is erp.nsckejabranch.org.ng. So we are developing it as a one-stop shop to source for the best of engineering professionals. And of course, it's not just limited to job employment. We are also looking out for those who want to take up contracts. So at the end of the day, we have engineers across the board. So it's not just meeting the needs of the much younger engineers. We are also looking at situations where procurement managers are one of the best of engineering professionals can assess them through that. So again, the platform is erp.nsckejabranch.org.ng. So in all, we are making very frantic efforts to ensure that, particularly for the engineering professional, we are able to upskill our members, and indeed we can fit in. Over the past years, of course, because of a number of government policies, we've seen situations where a number of projects go out to foreign organizations, and we may not, perhaps be able to do much about that. But what we, very vehemently detest is a situation where you now have those foreign organizations bring in, what's it called now, personnel. Say a number of Chinese personnel for jobs that Nigerians, should naturally fit in. So all of this is geared toward ensuring that indeed we have a ready rank of professionals that can take up this job. So on this note, on behalf of the branch executive committee, I want to indeed welcome us all, to this event. And my attention has just again been actually called something very important that we have also been doing. We undertake a competition on an annual basis we refer to as Innovation and Creativity Fair. So in the course of this event, we will be launching the entries, the opening of the entries for 2022. We call it Inno Creative Fair. So it's a platform also for young minds. Again, you find a situation where a number of the projects that are undertaken in the final year are just dumped, in the schools. So we want a situation where a number of them can be projected, and then at the end of the day, it's going to fit into this building that is currently under construction. The building will be commissioned in 2 weeks. And what we want to do here, we call it the Engineering Innovation Hub. So it's meant to actually be an innovation incubation and product development center. And all of this will actually flow back into the industry. And indeed, we are looking forward to when we can beat our chest and say, yes, we can refer to what we call the Nigerian technology. So all of these are geared together to ensure we can indeed make good progress as a nation. So we want to indeed appreciate all the organizations that believe in us and that are, part of this event. And we look forward to indeed building on this mutually benefiting relationship towards the greater 2022, first and foremost, and of course, greater years ahead. Thank you very much.
Is that how you want us to the first engineer in the Belgium? When the first engineer is greeting the first lady in engineering worldwide, it's not even in Nigeria now. Let's go global. Please celebrate him, celebrate our father. He's a father, he's a brother, he's a man of integrity, and as he has displayed the all right, what is that welcome? You see, even as you stepped in, the environment changed somehow. And I heard in my spirit, you don't believe. If you cannot believe me, it's difficult. I heard in my spirit, say son, I say sir. Say son, sir. Look at that woman that entered. If you check her bag, there is two, but there are some tools there. Mommy, do you have tools in your bag, man? Tools. As an engineer, you must work with either screwdriver, either plier, either spanner or hammer, but don't hammer us, man. Celebrate something. Just put your hands together for us. All right, when the chief and most senior engineer in Ikeda was giving her speech, brother, and something dropped in my mind while I was standing there. Your CV is just a qualifier, an ordinary qualifier. You are the qualified. You are the qualified. Your CV might qualify you, and personally, you are not qualified. Are we together? All right, so we are going to the very first segment of this lecture delivering, and the person that has been set aside to take care of this segment is no other person but Baba Balaba. Please, let's quickly give a citation. Mr. Abayomi Ali. I'm going to be reading out his profile for us so that we know that what we have here is big enough to serve each and every one of us, and of course to prepare us for the future challenge. He has been there, and we know that he's going to lead us, all right? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Abayomi Ali, manufacturing director at Nigeria as Unilever Nigeria PLC. He is experienced supply chain leader and multi-skilled FMCG professional of about 3 decades. Sir, let them see you, sir. Mr. Bayomi Ali. All right. So that is the person we are talking about. So he's an experienced supply chain leader and a multi-skilled FMCG professional of about 3 decades experience in FMCG food and beverage sector with cultural diversity experience. He possesses these deep skills in production and operations manager, technological control, including quality control management, production planning and control, project implementation, learning and development, new product introduction, consumer value engineering, resource planning, negotiations, governance, and personal accountability. Certification, quality management system, ISO 901, certified auditor, food safety management system, certified auditor, accredited trainer for general certificate in brewing and diploma in brewing of the Institute of Brewing and Distilling, external relation, interacted directly with external contracts and governmental agencies like Quality Regulatory Standards and Conformity Agency in Nigeria and Ethiopia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is also Waste and Measures Environmental Protection and Regulatory Agency. Please put your hands together as we invite for this lecture one and only engineer. If I call him engineer, I think I'm not making a mistake. Engineer Abayomi Ali. Please put your hands together for him. All the way from Unilever Nigeria PLC. Keep it coming until we get there. Keep it coming until we get there. Sir, before I hand over, sir, I want to promise them on behalf of your company that at least 5 people will be employed here today. On behalf of your company, I know you have the capacity. 5 qualified participants here will get offered today. Even more than, please celebrate it. Celebrate it.
I don't know. I sent a presentation. I don't know whether it's going to be him. I would like to say thank you very much. Of Ikeja branch, Chairman is Adaton. Madam, you're welcome. Deputy President of NSC, and every other person on the high table, I say welcome. And all of us here also, please also another high table. Welcome. The first thing in job seeking is belief. You have to believe in yourself. How many of us today, how many of us sitting here today, believe that they will come out of this job fair with their dream job in their pocket? Nearly everybody. You clap for yourself. So, the first thing is believe. If you don't believe, you will not hear. How many of you here can approach a prospective employer and tell the employer, these are my differentiating competencies. If I come into your organization, This is what I'm bringing to your organization. Employ me. How many of us have that kind of confidence? I will tell you a story. Something happened early this week. I got a message through LinkedIn. Somebody just approached me. The person wrote that, oh, I just finished my master's in the University of Ibadan with GP 7.0 out of 7. Best student, best graduating student, best graduating master student in the University of Ibadan. And that I would like to have an opportunity to work with your company between now and August, when I'll be going to Yale University on scholarship to complete my PhD. And that is selling, that is confidence, that is belief. Immediately I got that, I sent it to the HR business partner that this is somebody we must bring in. Because we are doing some research in our R&D, and we can actually use this kind of person to further our research in the areas we are interested in. And I tell you, by yesterday, that person has been approached and is going to resume with us within the next 2 weeks. So how many of us have that kind of confidence in ourselves? How many of us have what is called differentiating competencies that sets us apart from other people, that will make an employer look at you and say, I want to have you? And I tell you, this particular person, the way it is going, if the person can bring into practice what he has learned in school, I'm telling you, this person will offer a permanent job. And I've seen instances before when people like that are asked to go and finish the program you want to finish. When you come back, the job will be waiting for you. So you have to be daring, you have to have that belief in yourself. You have to bring a particular value into the organization. The organization has to see that value in you before they can say, we want you to be part of us. If you have no value, no organization will want to bring you in. So value is of importance in everything we do. This is not on yet. Maybe you have to, so that we don't waste too much time. But actually, I'm having this one. I just said I have to share. Can you Who can tell me what the unemployment rate in Nigeria is as of now? Who can tell me? I won't go there. 33%. Any other figure again? There are several figures of what the unemployment rate in the country is. Some people say unemployment rate is at 3%. Some people tell you it's like 20%. Some people say it's 15%. It depends on what they call unemployment. Because some people are actually employed, but they are underemployed. The situation in which an engineer is engaged in doing the work of a security man, is that employment? Can you call that employment? The man is not employed in what he has been trained on. That is not his skilled area. Or a situation in which somebody that is supposed to work for average of 22 days in a month can only work on an ad hoc basis. Maybe you work for 5 days this month, 10 days that month, 15 days the other month, another month no job at all. Can you call that employment? So I don't want us to bother ourselves about the figure of unemployed people in the country. I rather want us to focus more on why do we have unemployment and whether there is actually this job we are looking for out there. I will tell you, there are jobs out there. Remove from your mindset that there are no jobs. There are jobs out there. But there are jobs out there for those people who are prepared to take those jobs. If you are not prepared to take the job, you will never get the job. And some of the mistakes that young graduates normally make, because I'm speaking to you now, if I'm speaking to young people. Raise your hand. Use mock interviews. Mock interviews will give opportunities for other people to give you informal feedbacks. Informal feedbacks will tell you, will show you which areas you need to improve upon. One other mistake that we make is that we just prepare one CV or one resume and believe that that CV or that resume, you can use it for different jobs you are applying for. It's a big mistake. Resumes and CVs should be tailor-made for each job you are applying for. Who can tell me what's the difference between a resume and a CV? Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Resume is just like a summary of your professional experiences, your information about it. Now, most times it's not by IT. Is a more detailed, is more detailed than the resume. So it's much more than 2 pages or 3 pages. Contains everything it provides you for that job role.
Very good. A round of applause for him. He got it right. A resume is normally a page summary of your work experience. And a CV is a document that's actually more comprehensive. It tells you about your hobbies, your interests, your focus in life, your referees, what you have done, the social club you belong to, the leadership positions you have held in the past, and so on and so forth. When they ask for a resume, don't send a CV. And when they ask for a CV, don't send a. Have that at the back of your mind. And for each job, you have to prepare your resume or your CV for each job, because you have to bring out the salient things that make you fit for that job. For example, if in school you are the general secretary, you are the general secretary of Society of Electrical Electronic Engineering Students, and there is a job that has to do with something that has to do with organization and record. You have to bring that particular aspect out and say, these are the things I did when I was holding this particular role. So it already shows that you already have some little bit of experience in that particular area focused on. In your CV, also, one of the things you need to bring out is what kind of voluntary services you have done in the past. Because it is no more your intelligence now, your academic intelligence that the employer wants to look at. The employer, increasingly these days, is also looking out for your emotional intelligence. Not only academic intelligence. This person, is he going to be a selfless person? Can he associations, groups, volunteer group? It already shows that you can work with other people in different teams to achieve results. Can you go back? One slide. So these are some of the things I want you to please hold on to when you are seeking for a job. Accept your network. Build your value. How can you build your value? Who can give me an example of a way a fresh graduate can build his value? Yeah.
Take professional courses and add to your private life. If you want to go into tech, you can take some courses that could add to the knowledge you want.
and your friends. It's unfortunate that the slides are not showing. Control is open. How do we prepare for interview? Any volunteer? How do you prepare for
job description of what you are doing for the time? And then the dressing, and then on that day, one has to look up any experience what the time should do for the time.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him. Yes. He has been able to do some of the things you need to do to prepare for interviews. The first thing in preparing for interview is that you have to plan for what you need to wear for your interview. They said your appearance is your first credential. Not so. If you are going for an interview and you dress in a shabby manner, wear a t-shirt or wear all these jeans that they cut holes in, all these pattern jeans, and you want to go for an interview, of course, that is preparing to fail. There are some jobs where you can dress in some ways, and then you say, okay, it goes with the profession. Especially those who are into things like fine arts, things like that. You can dress in some certain ways and say, okay, all such things they go.
or CV to specific technical capabilities instead of reflecting those things of maybe your school days and all of that. Since we're trying to relate to the mind or the heart of the interviewer, how long should we keep reflecting these things on our resume and CV? Thank you.
Sorry, sir, please, before we answer that, I'm going, please, for those who are joining us outside, who are watching outside, I'm coming outside now to take just one question from you outside. So if you have a question outside, if you are outside and you have a question, please, as you see, I'll be coming out now, please approach me. You have a question outside, I'll be coming out now, please approach me and let's start what you have to say. All right.
Thank you very much for that question. As far as I know, in the schools,
All right, so that's what we have there. Okay, so please, I was just all right. I was like, their question. Let's wait till everything is restored so that people outside can feel them. Or we should continue. All right, so
I also told you. It was an experience of shooting who is good with the PLCs.
all right, you got that. I'm making it real go.
Please, for those roles that have been announced, you need to step out to Coca-Cola stand and Chikasin stand right now. If you are interested in those roles, go to Coca-Cola stand outside right now.
Remember, I told you, package your mouth, package yourself, and package your CV. You know what? Yeah, digital marketing. You said you want to ask something. All right.
Thank you. If an organization demands that I forward my CV, is it necessary I send it together with my? Is it really necessary? I should just do the CV if they don't ask for cover letter.
Let me tell you. If an organization asks for CV, send it CV. So what you say, send cover letter CV. If you are doing what we call something like client job CV, you are looking for job, client job pattern, and you are just applying to a position, you didn't bring out any advert. That one, you of course have to share the cover letter was following a CV, that kind of. But if there is a specific request for only CV, don't send any cover.
Again, every job now demands that you have an experience for some years. So, like taking myself as an
Not every
example,
job. Not every job.
many jobs now.
Okay, let me give you an instance.
Most
No, let me give you an instance. There is a job now for Darling Management Development Scheme, Nigerian. And they said they don't even want anybody in the house for that because it's an entry level job. That was how I entered Nigerian. Entry level job. They don't even want people to have experience, but you have gotten the wrong type of experience. So there are many jobs where they don't require any experience. And I have people that are working with me also, where I am now in labor, that came in through that kind of scheme. People without experience, friends from the university. Some of them we get them in as interns, and after their internship, some of them are then not all of them of course will be absorbed, depending on your performance. Many of them are absorbed. So you don't need to have experience for all jobs. And then when we talk of experience also, one of the things that employers look out for is what I said, what is your experience in leading people? And as I said, when you are in school, what kind of things do you participate in? And such things, you can put them on your CV. I was in University Technological Student Association, Electrical Student Association, Mechanical Engineering Student Association. I was there, what did I do? I was the social secretary. It shows that this person is already a responsible person. You have been carrying responsibility, even as a student. So it doesn't have to be, for an entry level job, it doesn't have to be real work experience that you have to work for several years. Your internship that you did when you were in university, you put it there, it's part of your work experience. But that is only for entry level jobs. Are you clear?
Are you clear?
yes, sir.
And then the question I think we have to run.
Yes.
The question you asked about for how long will you continue to put such things on your CV? For somebody who doesn't have any work experience, those are the things that show the kind of thing you can have. Those are your differentiating competencies. You did this while you were in school, while Mr. B did not do anything. He just went to school to read. He never participated in other things happening in school. He never practiced any leadership skill. He never worked in teams. He was never part of any project apart from academic projects. So those are the things people have to look out for. So you continue to put it there until at a point in time when you now start building up real experience and you find that such things do not matter anymore. Then you move them. For me, for example, now, I won't put that I was president of chemical students and chemical engineering students association. I won't put it on my CV. I don't need it again. But for somebody that is fresh, you need to put such things. And then somebody asked a question about approaching people. There's a manner of approach. I gave you an example of somebody that wrote me. The person, when the person was writing me, the person did not start with this is what I do, this is who I am, and I'm writing you because I did this one. The first thing that the person wrote is that I just finished my master's in 7.0 out of 7. And I'm the best graduate student in master's class in this at the University of Life. Hello? Okay. The person started with, just finished my master's, I have this, I did. That already stimulated my interest. Oh, this is a very brilliant student. And then the person can say, okay, for this, I need some time to do some things before my PhD program, fully funded at the Yale University. This is a serious person. And this is somebody that also wants to get engaged in something practical before going for the PhD. When you approach and start with good morning, I'm an unemployed graduate of agric engineering from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I met you at this something. If you put me on, because I get millions of that or hundreds of that every day. You have to bring something to the table that differentiates you from the other person. Before the person you are sending that kind of mail to will get interested in your cause. Do you understand? You don't just, yes, I can give out my phone number or my email address, but it is not every person that writes to me that will pay attention to what he or she writes. And moreover, if you go to this profile, you will see my phone number there, you see my email address. You can always get across to me. But it's not every time that I look at what somebody writes. It is how you start. What are you bringing? What is your value that will stimulate my interest in what you are saying?
And we just couldn't we can't get through in such situation. So I would like to ask sir, for someone like me now who is very interested in research and some other things, who also is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, but is not really having that platform yet. So what would you suggest, sir, for someone like me in that situation?
I'm not an eradication specialist, but I'll try to answer your question. First, we need to get out of this mindset that there is no job out there. We also need to get out of this mindset that unless you know somebody somewhere, you cannot get a job. It is wrong. It is not true. It may be true in some instances, but it is not true in all instances. I can't employ somebody into my organization if the person is not competent. Even if the person is my younger brother, if he's not competent, I will employ somebody who will bring value into the organization. So, mindset first. Then you said that at times you send applications for job, you don't get any response. I don't know why you are not getting response.